Are you still stuck procrastinating despite trying every productivity hack? Then it might be time to try this dark tactic. But I have to warn you, this tactic is not for the faint of heart. Hi, I'm Nick. I'm a psychotherapist and life coach, and I've spent the last 7 years helping turn procrastinators into massive action takers. In today's video, I'll give you some advanced tactics you probably haven't heard before, which will help you to finally complete that task. Tactic 1. This tactic has helped legendary Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps win 24 gold medals. In fact, it's used in Givens Psychotherapy when we want to change someone's behavior and we want them to do something differently, such as breaking a bad habit, stopping an addiction. We might use some positive mental rehearsal to change that behavior. And it's really powerful. There's some really good, interesting research behind this. For example, in one study, it was found that people who did imaginary bicep curls were able to increase their bicep strength by around 13%. That's just using their imagination. When we use our imagination, we actually create new neural pathways, which then create new behavior. The Matrix does a really good point of illustrating this. There's that scene in the film where Neo is training in Kung Fu in a virtual reality simulator. And then when he wakes up and comes out of the Matrix, the first thing that's out of his mouth is, "I know Kung Fu." And similarly, the same can happen with positive mental rehearsal. It doesn't work for bending spoons with your mind, unfortunately, but it is really powerful. So try mentally rehearsing in your imagination, you taking the specific steps to go and complete that task. Now, if you struggle with positive mental rehearsal, don't worry, because I'm going to share some links to resources below, which will help you to do this. Now, the dark tactic is coming up, so keep watching. But first, I want to share one tactic which has really helped me and hundreds of my clients. Tactic 2. So I had one client who was really procrastinating on starting a YouTube channel, and I said to her, what will happen if you don't start this channel? What happens if you have to stay in your day job for the next 5 years? And they thought about it, and the thought really terrified them. She said to me, actually, that's a really terrifying thought. And that was enough to get them making progress and to start posting videos to YouTube. What will happen if you don't take action today? Can you imagine what life will be like in 5 years' time or 10 years' time if you don't take action today? Have a think about that. One of my favorite tactics for breaking procrastination is to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can get more videos like this to help you on your journey. And now here's the dark tactic, which is so intense that some therapists refuse to touch it. So proceed at your own risk. Tactic 3. If you do 80 minus your age times 365, this is how many days you have left to live in the best case scenario. That number is decreasing every single day, and in 3 years' time, it will have decreased by more than 1,000. So you do not have time to waste. Now, when I've done this exercise with my clients, they've been quite shocked to discover just how few days they have left. So if you're 30 years old and you do 80 minus 30 times 365, then the answer is 18,250 days left to live. And that's in the best case scenario. That's assuming you don't get cancer. That's assuming you don't have a heart attack, you don't die in a car accident, choking on a bit of pepper. There's so many different ways we can die. We all have an expiry date. And I'm sorry to sound so morbid here, but sometimes being reminded of our mortality, being reminded of how precious life is and how few days we may actually have left can be enough to sometimes give us that existential cattle prod that provokes us into action. So remember, 80 minus your age times 365. Drop a comment below with how many days you have left to live in the best case scenario. Now, if these strategies still don't help you to beat procrastination, then it might be because you're missing this one important thing, which I talk about in my next video.